All right, we are back for some fantasy football. D Nasty is in the house. What's up, Dave? How are you?
Good, good. I had a great time in Vegas. Met a lot of nice guests that we've had on the show. A lot of great sports bettors there that knew a lot. Learned a lot over the weekend and made a lot of nice connections. It was a good time.
Absolutely. You got that new Las Vegas hat too, and that's that new team. Why don't you tell us about that real quick?
This Las Vegas Aviators. It's a AAA baseball team located in Vegas, and it's actually the Athletics AAA team. So it's actually a really cool hat. So yeah, that's why I picked it up, and then I got to learn a little bit about them at the same time.
Yeah, you got the athletics coming here too, so I think that's super cool. Aviators and athletics. It's a really cool looking hat. Love it. It's like
Thank you.
fire. So color of fire. Well, cool. We're gonna talk some more fantasy football. So let's get into it, my man. We already talked about some of the leagues you're in. So we don't need to talk about that again. But trades, there's a few trades. There's one I noticed was Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett went to the Raiders, so it's like Cleveland was able to actually finally get rid of one of the quarterbacks that they brought over because they had a ton of them, right? They had five, if you count Sean Watson. It looks like they sent Shador Sanders to the Bands. We watched that game, and of course on Twitter and everywhere else, like the Shador backers and the ones that get really upset because they think that he's way better than his fifth round draft status. We're pretty upset about it. I don't think it's bad to sit him on the bench. I mean, he does seem a little cocky and young, and yeah, he tried to keep it composed for his interview, but you can just tell. And then he kind of emotionally broke down a little bit too much in that last drive, did he?
He did, and actually, the coach actually said too. Kevin Stefanski said that that was the plan all along. It wasn't because he was playing bad, but because he wanted to give Tyler Huntley a little bit of work in that game, anyways. He said that was the plan even going into the game. That's what they're going to do anyway. So yeah, a lot of people are posting and tweeting about how they didn't like him being pulled out, and they should give him another drive. He probably could have did well on another drive, but he was struggling already, and that was the game plan already going into the game. So that made sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree too. And Dylan Gabriel was just picked higher, and he was kind of more composed. I mean, he didn't have quite as good as the first game, but he was more consistent later in this game. So that's the way I looked at it.
And
And Shador was hurt a little bit already too, and that's why he missed the second game.
Exactly. And then, so Aiden O'Connell, actually, that's the big injury. So he's out 6 to 8 weeks. He broke his wrist in the last preseason game. So that was the reason they traded for Kenny Pickett because they wanted a good backup for Geno Smith. Because Geno Smith's not a young buck either. So they wanted to they already said after Aiden O'Connell went, they're going to probably put him on IR today, I would think. And then where you can come back, the one you can come back from. But they already said that they were looking for a backup quarterback after he broke his wrist, and then they announced he was out 6 to 8 weeks. So the other trade of note too was the Sam Howell went to the Eagles due to another backup quarterback getting injured. Tanner McKee, who's actually had a good preseason, he actually broke a finger, so I think it was his thumb. Don't quote me on that though. But they said they wanted a backup quarterback as well, so they cut Dorian Robinson Thompson. But they actually traded for Sam Howell from the Vikings, and then the Vikings turned around and signed Carson Wentz. So I think Howell would have been better than Wentz, but I'm not an NFL coach, so I can't really tell
Yeah,
you
yeah,
wow I would do that.
I don't like Wentz either. He's shot. I would have preferred Howell myself, but whatever. Yeah, it's two bad quarterbacks. Let's face it. Who cares? Let's see what happens. Let's move on to some tight end rankings, my man. And the way I look at this one is that we can just go through 15 or 20. What do you think? 15 or 20, and that'll be good enough. Why don't you give us your top five?
Sounds good. Well, my number one is going to be Brock Bowers. You can't argue with this one. He had probably the most targets and the most receptions last year. He was pretty much like a tight end, and they don't really have a very well. Actually, Mari Cooper just signed with them today, so he will be taking away a few targets probably from Brock, but he's going to get a majority of the targets there. They don't really have many weapons on offense there except for Ashton Genty now too, but receiving wise, he's going to get most of the targets there. Number two, we got Trey McBride. Kind of same situation, but he has a few other people that are going to suck away targets from him, but he's one of Kyle Murray's favorites though now. Number three, I got George Kittle. Again, their receivers are all banged up. Ricky Purcell and Marcus Robinson are going to be the starting wide receivers week one. Brandon Ayuk won't be back until at least week 5. So
What about
keep that
Jennings?
in mind. He's going to get quite a few carries.
I think
Quite a few targets.
I think just real quick, sorry to interrupt. Jennings week 2, I think that's what I'm hearing.
Yes, yes. So they said questionable for week 1, but yeah, week 2 is probably what they're targeting. And then I got TJ Hawkinson at 4, but Laporta could be here too. It's kind of like 4 and 5 could be reversed because I like Laporta as well. But TJ, I think with Addison being out, suspended for the first 4 games, that's why I moved him up a little bit. But Laporta, I would like it's like a 4A, 4B kind of situation. But then I got Laporta at 5.
Okay, so it's funny. I have one real big different one here. We have the same 1-2. I mean, let's not even go there. They're the easy 1 and 2. Bowers and McBride. Hawkinson, I have at number 3, and the reason is because DJ Moore got hurt, or I can't remember his name. I'll bring him up on the Vikings, and then obviously you have the suspension there with another receiver there. The Vikings also like the San Francisco 49ers. Are a little bit beat up at the wide receiver position. But the thing about San Fran is they're still more of a running team. And I do like Kittle the next. I mean, flip-flop them, it's fine. So you're not going to get, a massive disagreement with me here. I just threw Hawkinson at 3rd because not a lot of people have that. But, I just think that the Vikings will be throwing a lot more to him. And it's good for like a rookie-type quarterback to have that back, to have the big tight end target. So I just feel like McCarthy, if you remember how he threw to Loveland back in the Michigan days, right? I think that was huge. And the person I was talking about was Rondale Moore, not DJ Moore from the Bears. Rondale Moore was hurt, was supposed to be their 3rd receiver. And Ty Felton's questionable. Jalen Naylor's questionable. Even Justin.
They're definitely banged up.
Yeah. So similar deal there. I flip-flop those. And then my number 5 is going to be who do I have? Sam Laporta. Yeah, no different from me there. Sam Laporta makes total sense to have number 5. And then let's move on to number 6. And right. I have Njoku at number 6. I think there's a massive difference, first of all, Dave, between number 5 and 6. I think that it really drops off this year. And so, even though, and we'll get to Mark Andrews, but I have Njoku. I have Evan Ingram from Denver because I think Denver's going to be throwing more. Tucker Kraft, believe it or not, I even have as a semi-sleeper coming up with Green Bay at number 8. Mark Andrews I have at number 9. I just think that Isaiah Likely is, after he comes back from his little injury, is going to just be more of a main receiver now. I don't know. I mean, the problem with and this is what we say all the time, right? The problem with teams like the Ravens is that they have too many playmakers to throw to. And they also are a big running team. So 2 tight ends there. I'm sorry, I have to drop Mark Andrews. And then Travis Kelce goes to number 10 as a bust. I'm even scared at drafting him at number 10, Dave. He was bad last year. I'm concerned about him. Go ahead with your 5, 6 through 10.
All right. Well, at 6, I got Travis Kelce. He's still Mahomes' favorite target. They got a few question marks with the Kansas City receivers. Rashid Rice might get injured, might get suspended this year. They're still talking about that, but it won't be until later in the year, they're saying now. So the receiver situation should be pretty good there. Xavier Worthy was coming around, but Kelce's still one of his favorites. I think he'll bounce back a little bit this year too. He's been a top 3 tight end usually. So I got him at 6. Njoku, I got him at 7, even though he still does worry with all the injuries he's got. He's always questionable, it seems like almost every week when I have him on all my teams. 8, I like Evan Ingram this year a lot with Bo Nix. I think he could have a really good year. I got Mark Andrews at 9 as well. Same situation as you with Likely there. Likely had a few big games last year, and we forgot about Andrews. And then at the end of the year, Andrews blew up kind of last 4 or 5 weeks. He kind of helped me in the playoffs too, win a couple leagues. So you never know with him. He's hot. He's inconsistent, but like you said, they have too many weapons there as well. So I definitely agree with you on that. And then I got 10. I got kind of a sleeper pick here, Tyler Warren. He's been really high in a lot of my dynasty leagues. He could be like the Brock Bowers this year, actually. They still have a few weapons there on offense and Pittman and Josh Downs, but Warren could be the sleeper tight end this year.
All right, Warren at number 10. I'm very close. I have him at 11, but why don't you go 11 through 20? Just
sounds good through them. Yeah. Tucker Kraft at 11. Same reasons you said. I like him on the Packers. I got Jake Ferguson at 12. I like him. I think he bounces back this year too. Last year he didn't have a full year with Dak, so I like him this year. Dalton Kincaid, I think he kind of bounces back this year too as well. I think both those tight ends see a few more targets this year and receptions this year. Another rookie at 14, I got Colston Loveland. I think he could be really good here. Dallas Goedert, I think Jalen Hurts, he was banged up quite a bit last year as well, so I think he can kind of bounce back this year. Hunter Henry at 16, Kyle Pitts at 17, Zach Ertz, who had a very solid year last year at 18, 19, Jonnu Smith, and number 20, one of the guys I really like here, Brenton Strange. I think he could have a really good year. Even some of the panelists were talking about him this past weekend in Vegas. Some guys liked him as a sleeper this year. So I like him with Everett Ingram Grant. I think he steps into his role, and Lawrence likes throwing to the tight ends as well.
You know what else is strange, though, is all these guys. It's like Dallas Goedert sitting at like the teens, in the higher teens, and you got Zach Ertz there. There used to be studs. They used to, especially when they both played with the Eagles. You got a guy like Jonnu Smith way down there. I don't even know if you did you say him in the top 20? Yeah, I mean, Jonnu Smith.
19.
Okay, right. But remember his year last year. But of course, now he's in Pittsburgh where tight ends die. You have Kyle Pitts you have to remember about. He was kind of a strange player last year. It's just funny about tight ends. It's like you feel like these guys should be way higher, but they're not. I have number 11. Number 10 was Travis Kelce. 11's Tyler Warren, because I agree with you. I have him right by you. 12, Jake Ferguson. 13, I do have Isaiah Likely. He's my sleeper. I think he's just going to get a lot more targets when he comes back healthy. Do you know when he's supposed to be back, Dave?
They didn't say, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to click on him real quick just since the show's going on so I can kind of figure out, what the prospectus on him is when it comes to news. Likely is back for his fourth NFL season. No, this is not even updated shit. That was before. Come on, ESPN.
Yeah, I think week 1 or 2 they were saying. I don't think he's gonna miss very long. I think it was gonna be week 1 or 2 is what they were saying. Because they didn't put him on the PUP, or they didn't put him on IR, so I think he's gonna be back the first couple weeks.
Yeah, he was a fractured foot, and he was out 6 weeks, and this was back on July 30th. So it's already been 4 weeks almost, right?
Yeah,
so really close. So I'm still thinking he's sleeper. Let's move on in my rankings, and I have after Likely Dalton Kincaid from Buffalo. Can't forget about him. Dallas Goedert is number 15. Number 16, Zach Ertz. 17, Kyle Pitts. Man, I'm still scared to draft Kyle Pitts. You notice he's not a TE1. He's not, he's not 1 through 12. He's not a tight end 1 here. So Jake Ferguson's my last tight end 1. Hunter Henry is next. Then Noah Gray, believe it or not, was a massive sleeper at 19. Like I said, man, he had 49 targets last year, and
he did.
It was more towards the end of the year, but I just feel like he's going to get even put in the offense a little bit more, similar to like a Cole Kmet and Loveland. I feel like he's just going to be sneaky open, and maybe this is just the year that Kelce kind of passes the reins. We'll see, but that's what I'm thinking. And then finally at number 20, Jonnu Smith. Just let you know I have Colston Loveland right after Jonnu Smith from the Bears, but those are it. Let's move on to quarterbacks.
Oh, 2 quick ones. I got 2 sleepers I'd like to just mention here, 2 quick for tight ends. Mason Taylor, I really like the Jets. He's going to be the starter there, a rookie tight end. And then Jatavian Sanders. I like him too with his second year with Carolina with Bryce Young coming around. Those are 2 sleepers I have as well. Oh, no.
Oh, sorry, my mic went out. It was a thing about sleepers. They both made my top 20, Dave. And anything after 20, you can just pick off the bench anyway, right? Just have some eyes on some guys, see how they do week 1 or 2. But if you're after 20 and you're holding 2 tight ends, I don't know, especially if you don't have a lot of bench spots, it's like there's going to be plenty of guys, on the bench, in my opinion, that you can pick up, hell, Mike Gesicki could be good. Chiga Kwanku could be good. And Strange, like I mentioned too, he's 21 for me. Cole Kmet maybe is the lead guy again on the Bears for a while. Dalton Schultz. Forgot about Houston, right? We haven't even mentioned anyone from Houston. So there you have it. Quarterback time, Dave. I'll start with my top 5. And I have Josh Allen at number 1. Not too many arguments going around there. Lamar at number 2. I also think not two arguments. The one where I'm a little different, I is actually have Joe Burrow at number 3. I like Jane Daniels too, but Joe Burrow, he's just more proven. And I think the sophomore slump is a real thing that happens. And it's not like I don't have Jane Daniels at number 4, but I just had to put Joe Burrow ahead of him. That's all. No, well, hope no one cries about it. We got Jalen Hurts at number 5 because he also scores a lot of touchdowns with the tush push. What about your top 5?
All right, mine are pretty close. Definitely the first 2 are the same. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, 1 and 2, just because of their rushing ability. They're both MVP type candidates. At 3, I do have actually Jane Daniels. He had one of the highest read percentages and completion percentages for a rookie last year. So I definitely really like him still. I don't think he's going to have that sophomore slump, actually. So I disagree on that one a little bit. And some of our panelists this past weekend at Circa were actually talking about Jane Daniels as well and how they liked him. So I agree with them. 4, I do like Burrow, though, as well. So I got Burrow at 4. And then I got Jalen Hurts at 5.
Jalen Hurts at 5. All right. Somebody's asking for a draft grade. Juan Pena, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, Zach Charbonnet is your running backs. Cam Scatterboot, also Travion Henderson. Wide receivers, Jordan Addison, Cooper Kupp, Adams, Devontae, Christian Kirk, Josh Downs, Deebo Samuel. How many people are in this league? 10 people league.
It says, yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna have to give you like a C- from me. I mean, I think that I'm not sure if Jacobs is an RB2. I mean, maybe he is, but and Chubb and Charbonnet that throw me off a little bit. Addison suspended for 3 weeks. Cooper Kupp might be completely avoided. He's just an injury prone. Adams is old. I don't like the receivers. I love George Kittle. I like George Kittle. Kyler Murray is great for the first half of the season, and he falls off. Dave,
not a C-, but I definitely like a B-, C+, maybe. I definitely like the running backs. Running backs are very strong, except for Chubb. Chubb is a bit of a question mark, but Mixon just was announced he's going to be in this the first 4 weeks, so that might be a really solid pick. But definitely very strong at running back. I love your running backs. Definitely weak at wide receiver, though. I definitely agree with Kiev on this one. Addison suspended. Kupp's getting older and is injury prone. I do think
PPR. It's full PPR too, and I'm looking at Josh Jacobs. Now, don't get me wrong. In a half PPR or better, I have Josh Jacobs higher, but this is full PPR, man.
Yeah, but Jacobs is still going to get you quite a few touchdowns. He's going to get quite a few rushing yards, so he kind of makes up for that catches he doesn't get. And you'd be surprised, actually, Jacobs did have quite a few receptions last year too. But yeah, Addison, Kupp, Adams I do like though. Kirk I like. Deebo could have a decent year too, actually. So, but yeah, it's definitely a little weak at the wide receiver for sure. And I do like Kittle. Murray, he's probably middle tier quarterback, but he could do well this year as well. So yeah, definitely like a B+, C, like a B- C+.
You know what you want to do is grab like a Trevor Lawrence if he's available, just in case, or hell, even Caleb Williams. I mean, he was looking really good at the end of that one preseason game. Now he's got a great coach, so he could be one that he can swap out for Murray if he's having an awesome year. So think about that too. Then this obviously the grade could go way up on this, right?
Yeah, and there's other quarterbacks. A couple of the other sophomore quarterbacks too. JJ McCarthy or Drake May. I really like both of them as well. That could definitely help you at quarterback as well. And then just work the waiver wire for wide receivers while Addison's out.
Yeah, Geno's probably available in your league, right? Probably Tua, maybe Tua actually has a good year. I mean, Tua's a pretty accurate passer when his receivers aren't complaining. And, and the thing about Joe Burrow that I want to say is that his defense is so bad, Dave, he's going to be forced to score a lot of points. So that's another reason why I had that. Where did we leave off? Where were you at?
We're at number 6, actually, for the quarterbacks.
Okay, why don't you go 6 through 15?
Sounds good. I got Pat Mahomes. I like Pat Mahomes. We all know the reasons why on that one. He's just one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I got a little shocker here. 7, I got Baker Mayfield. He had a really good year last year. I think he can continue that this year. A guy I really like, Bo Nix at 8. I could even maybe had him at 7, but I like Bo Nix a lot. The guy we just talked about, Kyler Murray, 9 for Kyler Murray. 10, I got Dak Prescott. If he stays healthy, he still has a lot of weapons on offense. I think he could have a good year. Brock Purdy at 11. I got a little sleeper here, Justin Fields at 12. A lot of people are down on him with the Jets, but I think he could have a decent year. They're going to have a good run game, I think, with him and Hall. 13, Caleb Williams. His stock's going up after a pretty good preseason. Justin Herbert at 14. And then my guy I just talked about as well, Drake May. I got at 15. I really like him actually this year. I think he added some weapons for him, and even without the weapons last year, he had a solid season for a rookie. So I think with some added weapons and that other running back, I think he could actually improve on what he did last year.
All right, for me, number 6, I have Baker Mayfield. He threw a ton of touchdowns last year. 7 is my first sleeper in Jared Goff. I'm not sure if you mentioned him, Dave. And I haven't.
Yeah, he was my next.
Well, dude,
he's 16 for me.
He threw so many touchdowns, and that Lions are still going to have to score a lot of points, man. I wrote that he was 6th in fantasy points out of everybody last year. 6th in fantasy points, dude. I mean, how do you not bring him up?
But their running game, they love the run so much there in Detroit, and they have a new offensive coordinator now too, as well. So I don't know. I'm Jared Goff. I still remember the days when he was throwing picks left and right too with the Rams. So I don't know.
A long time ago.
I know, but he still had his games last year.
He was 6th in quarterbacks. Sorry, he was 6th in points with quarterbacks, not everybody. So, but it depends. If you have a 6-point quarterback league, then he probably was. So, all right, no, it's good to have these disagreements. I'm going to stay strong with him at 7. Bo Nix, number 8, supposed to have a monster year. Number 9, Patrick Mahomes, kind of a bust. I mean, a lot of people have him ranked 6th or 5th. I don't think so. I think he can regress, and that's more of a defensive team now. I think the old Chiefs have been saying that for years that it's not the old Chiefs. So, well, what's he doing? Dak Prescott, number 10. Oh, he's worried. If it got to the point where I had a draft Dak, it'd really be tough on me. Brock Purdy at number 11 and Justin Herbert at number 12, because I still think he's got a great arm, and I know they're going to be running a lot. But Kyler Murray's number 13, Drake May's number 14th, Trevor Lawrence is number 15. I think he kind of has a sneaky comeback here, so I'm a little higher on Lawrence than the market. And 15, I have Caleb Williams. I put him as a warning because I wouldn't draft him to start him. I draft him, if you end up like with a Patrick Mahomes or a Dak Prescott, then maybe you want Caleb. Maybe it's the guy.
Keep him on your bench, see how he does the first few weeks, and then you can kind of determine what you want to do with him after that. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
And I have Fields at number 18, so I have him as a bust candidate. After that last game he had, that looked bad. Of course, this is all preseason, but I haven't seen him do anything much in the regular season yet either. And and now I don't have to defend him as a Bears fan. I can join the Packers that they all shit at him. So we'll keep him there. And now I have CJ Stroud at 19. That's a weird team. He had a lot of wide receiver injuries, so he could be a sneaky one too. If you have another one, and maybe Juan, you could you can pick him up later. 2 is 21 for me. Why don't you go ahead with your sleepers, Dave?
My sleepers, I didn't do. You wanted me to go through 20 though first. At 16, I had Jared Goff actually. 17, I had Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love could bounce back this year, especially if our receivers stay healthy. 18, I had Trevor Lawrence. 19, I had CJ Stroud. And then 20, I had JJ McCarthy. I moved him up too. I think if Sam Darnold can do well in that offense, I think he can too as well. And then my sleepers actually would be the guys that didn't make the top 20.
Where do you have Jordan Love? Did you mention him?
Jordan Love was at 17.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. All right, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
And then, so my sleepers who didn't make the top 20, I got Tua ahead of him right the next in the line. I think he could have a good year, like you said, if the receivers stay healthy and he stays healthy. Bryce Young, who's been moving up, and then Michael Penix, I like him a lot too, actually. Those are some of the guys that are really a couple of my sleepers after the top 20.
All right, fair enough. I have some sleepers like this is a really weird one, and you're not drafting him, but I want you to keep your eye on Riley Leonard. I just don't think Daniel Jones is that good. I know everyone at the panel liked the Colts a lot. They want to pick them as their sneaky survivor play. Be careful about that. Riley Leonard could sneak in and be the starter too. That's how bad AR was, man. AR is a massive bust, and I would not draft him. I would not touch him at all. I missed my 17, and now it's JJ McCarthy, so I do have him there. But I mean, look at these Bryce Young, Geno Smith, guys that are not going to be drafted. Michael Penix. I don't know what to think about him. I hate his coach, but I like him. I like
him. They're high on him there.
Yeah, I mean, someone's going to sneak up here. Russell Wilson's even the number 30, and Aaron Rodgers is number 29, right? Sam Darnold's number 28. It's just crazy this year with these quarterbacks. And I almost feel like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, and then a big down step to Jalen Hurts, because I've seen Jalen Hurts have small games too. So I
He
think
struggles. He's inconsistent sometimes. Sometimes, yeah, he'll have a couple rushing touchdowns to save you for fantasy wise, but throwing wise, he can struggle some weeks for sure.
All right, real quick question. Cruz Garcia, rate my trade ideas. Brock Purdy, Omarion Hampton, Kamara. That's his squad. Wide receiver CD must be Lamb. Brian Thomas. I like Brian Thomas a lot. Tight end Kittle. And another Kittle. We have Flex Rice. Okay. And DJ Moore. I'm more DJ Moore than Rice. Benches Harvey, Travis Hunter, Olave, ETN, Benson, Wallen, I think he meant, in Tootin. Well, I mean, your squad, I need to know how many teams there are, that's the important thing. I'm guessing it's 12 teams with this, is how you drafted. I'm guessing maybe it was you were drafting 12 and you grabbed Marion Hampton and Brian Thomas. That's what it kind of feels like to me, Dave. And then it rotates around. Then he grabs Kittle. I mean, not bad for where you drafted. Purdy has to have a good year. I hope you have a little bit of a backup for Purdy, because he doesn't have any wide receivers. I'm going to give you, I like DJ Moore. I don't know. I'll give you a C plus.
I go C. I like Purdy. I got him. Like you said, I go over him over like Dak and a lot of those other quarterbacks. I like Purdy actually. Even with the weak wide receivers, I think Purdy's a solid quarterback. Running backs are solid. I like Hampton, Kamara, but I don't see any other running backs though. I didn't see any other running backs. So he's a little weak. Well, the Harvey too. I like the Harvey pick actually too. So running backs are solid. A little weak at wide receiver, I think. Again, Rice could be suspended. DJ Moore, he struggled. He was inconsistent a little bit for the Bears. I like Kittle. Have Hunter. I don't know how much he's going to play on offense and how big of a role he's going to have. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is a stud though, and having both those same guys on the same team. I try not to draft players on the same team, so I have to like play them against each other. So I don't like that either. So I think overall, Benson, we don't know how much he's going to play there. I like Tootin. I like Wallen. Wallen could have a decent year. He's still getting in shape, though. Tootin, actually, a lot of people he's one of the big sleepers at running back, one of the young running back sleepers. I'd say a C overall.
All right, fair enough. Well, real quick, let's blow through the defense, Dave. And I mean, to be honest with you, I'm just going to give you my sleepers and busts. And the only thing I have one Denver, two the Eagles. I moved the Vikings up to 3. I just think that their defense is a very good defense, and people are going to be, just remember that when they see them again. 4, I have Pittsburgh, and then, Baltimore. Then my real sleeper is the Bears defense. I actually did bring them up to number 8, Dave, and, call me biased, but man, that was a really good Bears, pretty good Bears defense over the past 2 years. And now they have competent coaching now. You saw that defense, the way they played against Buffalo, and they've had some starters in. I know they haven't played much starters in the preseason, but I think this Bears defense could be pretty dang good. So, and then the bust I have is the Lions. I don't know why some people have them at 9. I move them all the way down to like 16, 17. I'd be scared to start the Detroit Lions defense, Dave.
Yeah, and then he said trade ideas. Actually, the last guy that we just talked about, that last question we had, just to comment on that, you said trade ideas. I would actually trade Hunter actually, because he's really hot right now. Everyone's kind of trying to get him in a lot of drafts. I would probably try and trade him for some depth at either running back or wide receiver too, because you said trade ideas. So you had both Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. So maybe trade one of them. Maybe try and get some more depth at running back, because I don't like Benson either. You can maybe try and throw him in a package as well. And then maybe try and improve your backup tight end, because there's still question marks about Darren Waller too. So that was my one idea for trades for him. But then I'll go ahead with my top 10 then for defenses. I got the Broncos at 1, Eagles at 2, 3 the Steelers. I could even have them at 2 though. I like the Steelers a lot on defense this year, as did some of our panelists this year at Circa. 4, I got the Ravens. Really like the Ravens. That they're pretty solid all around on defense and offense. They're a pretty complete team. Vikings, I really like them at 5. I got the Texans at 6. Texans have a good D, I think, and they kept them in a lot of games the last couple of years. Bills at 7. Chiefs at 8, like you were saying. They were kind of their defense is kind of carrying them. At 9, I got the Seahawks at 9, and then 10, I got the Rams. Mm-hmm. And then I got the Packers as one of my sleepers. I think they could have decent defense. The same with the Chargers as well.
Where do you have Detroit? Because that's the only bust I really had.
I got them moved down quite a bit. I got them at 20.
Okay, so you have them as a bust too, according to the market. Yeah,
I do,
I think
yeah.
so
I
too.
moved them quite a ways down. They struggled quite a bit last year. They were kind of weak at linebacker. I don't know if they solved those. They didn't really solve those problems at linebacker. So we'll see. We'll see. They had some injuries at linebacker too, which kind of killed them midway through. And then their secondary had quite a few injuries. So we'll see if they solve some of those problems for this year.
All right, dude. Great stuff, Dave. What a awesome weekend we had. I'd like to reiterate that it was legendary, and can't wait to do it again next year. And I'm sure Dave can't either. And want to get this thing rolling next week. We're just going to do a quick little draft, kind of where we have something. It's not going to be, it's going to be like one, it's going to be maybe 2 to 4 rounds like we always do. We're not going to bore you for some long draft. Then we'll talk about some sleepers and where we think you can get them. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week. We'll be back with some college football for our live show on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific. And Thursday, the podcast will be released. Everyone enjoy the rest of your week and go get some.